Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. I lost the feed. This is crazy. Okay, if you're just joining in right now, we started the meeting and I had a bunch of people message me saying they couldn't see what was going on, that it didn't look like my life was happening. And so, yeah, here we are. And how many minutes into it? 15 minutes into it. If I ended up messing that up, please have patience with me. I am learning this as I am going, and I'm really grateful that you're here with me. All right, so I'm going to make a quick post on my Facebook, and here's why. Lots of people are messaging me saying, something's wrong. So, okay, love now. And let's see if I can get back to my Facebook page here. Okay, let's see. My goodness, this is really okay. So I'm going to quickly just do a brief recap. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I guess I'm having some internet issues and people couldn't see my live, even though it was showing me at my end. I had some data showing everything was live, and I guess you guys couldn't see it for some reason. Um, yeah, forgive me for that. I will get this right eventually, but by then nobody's going to want to come. It's like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing, so forget it. Anyway, if you're just joining us, please drop a one in the comments. Say one, I'm here, yes, and then tell me where you're coming from. Tell me your name and where you're joining us from. Today's topic is why you feel stuck, even when you know what to do. And this is a big deal because a lot of people feel like they're either lazy or there's something wrong with them. But no, that's not the case. There's usually an internal reason why you are finding it difficult to have the conversation that you want to have that might be difficult, or make the move, or ask for the raise, or something that's blocking you, even though you know how to do it or you know you should be doing it, you just cannot bring yourself to do it. There is a reason, and so we're going to dig into that. um, I know that our time is limited because my last live, it dropped. The joys of internet in a rural town. All right, so here's what you need to know. Okay, so being stuck does not automatically mean that you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you're broken. It just means that sometimes there's some things running in the background that are blocking you, things you might not even know about, like old programming that you may have, something we grew up with, an experience that maybe taught you if you do this, this will be the result, and it might not have been positive. So now you have some fear around stuff like that. It just means you need to move through this, past it, or around it, whatever works best for you, depending on your circumstance. So, why this matters, why recognizing, okay, I'm stuck right now, why recognizing that is important, because that is going to stall out your nervous system just for a quick second, and your brain is going to go, wait a minute. Okay, I'm feeling something here. Let's pay attention to this. Let's figure out what it is that's causing me to not do the thing that I know I can do or that I need to do, but for some reason I'm not able to do it. So sometimes it could be that you're just actually overwhelmed. And overwhelmed is quite a big umbrella term. But if you look at it in terms of your particular situation, you can actually start to drill it down. For example, let's say you need to have that really difficult conversation with the teenager or with your spouse. And there's so many facets to that conversation that it just feels so big and so overwhelming that you just keep putting it off because you don't know how to start it. You're worried how it's going to go. What if it doesn't go right? You start second guessing yourself. You start doubting yourself. Um, it becomes bigger than what it really should. So let's look at calling ourselves unmotivated because of it. We start to beat ourselves up and go, what's wrong with me? Why am I being so lazy with this? Or why am I procrastinating on this? And um, it could actually mean that we're afraid of the results. Again, maybe because of a past experience that you had that didn't go so well when you tried to do this thing. And now there's, some fear around doing it again. You're afraid you might get the same results. And there's another thing that's sometimes we think we're procrastinating when we're really trying to protect ourselves, from either disappointment, from rejection. We're trying to protect ourselves from failure. And sometimes subconsciously, we may even be trying to protect ourselves from success because we don't know what that feels like. And it's a little bit scary, even though it's something our brains tell us, oh, I really want that thing. To me, that means success. But sometimes we self sabotage it or we don't achieve it because we've never been there. We don't know what being that successful looks like. And so we do the things that stop us from actually achieving it. And what does it cost you? Take a look at your own personal situation and ask yourself, what does it cost you right now not doing that thing? Whatever that thing might be. Could even be just mowing the lawn. If you don't do it, maybe next week the lawn is going to be too long to mow and it's going to take you forever, like twice as long. And I know your time is valuable. And so, what's it costing you? So, when we stay too long, it doesn't just affect the thing that we're actually avoiding. Um, it starts to spill over into other areas of our life. So if you're avoiding something for whatever reason, like we spoke about earlier, could be fear, self-doubt, procrastination, it could be imposter syndrome for whatever reason, which we will dive into this month. July is all about this. Um, it can cost you opportunities. For example, that difficult conversation with the spouse or the teenager, you could have a phenomenal conversation. Um, but if you don't, you might miss an opportunity to really connect with your partner or connect with your child. And that means so much more than the fear of having that conversation in the first place. Um, it can cost you opportunities where you know that you are more capable than you're giving yourself credit for. So, for example, let's say at work, you want to ask to take on that project, or you want to ask for a raise because you know you're capable of taking on whatever it is that you've got, plus a little bit more to prove that you're worth that raise, even more, right? So it can cost you your confidence because if you keep stopping yourself from whatever program has been running in the background, um, it actually begins to affect your confidence. And then pretty soon you won't even bother asking for the raise. It's like, they're not going to give it to me. I'm not there. They're just going to come up with all these excuses and you're going to start self-doubting yourself. And that's going to knock your confidence down. And what happens when you begin avoiding doing the things that you know you can do, you know that you're worth doing, If you keep avoiding it, you start believing that you don't trust yourself in order to have that in the first place. And that's a big cost. That's a huge cost. And that's going to spill over in several different areas. If you start losing your confidence at work, it can translate into getting into arguments at home because you might feel less confident at home, but you're trying to force that. No, I am confident. I know who I am. I want people to hear me, listen to me, and see my value and my worth, and it could start over, like spilling over into other areas, maybe into friendships. um, so the cost is really more than what we realize when we avoid doing the things we know we can do or that we should be doing. One of the biggest ones is that it'll cost you time, all the time wasted. For example, you have been self-doubting yourself about asking for a raise at work, and maybe you've been wanting to do it for a year, and you finally do the thing and you get your raise and you're like, why didn't I ask for that a year ago? I should have asked for that a year ago. You see where I'm going with that? Time you can't get back. You really can't. It's already happened. There's no going back. And the future hasn't occurred yet. We're so busy projecting what may or may not happen in the future. We actually forget to live in the here and now and be fully present in the here and now, because right now is really all that matters. And so if I'm doubting myself, I want to wonder, why am I doubting myself? Why am I feeling this way right now? What is stopping me? Why am I procrastinating? Why do I feel anxiety around this? Whatever this may be for you. And all those things that we've been talking about leads us into costing you your own peace of mind. And then that leaches over into every aspect of your life. And you don't deserve that. Nobody does. There's reasons why we have fear, anxiety, self doubt. There's reasons why we procrastinate. And so, to get to the bottom of those reasons, it doesn't mean you have to climb Mount Everest and then scale back down the other side. What it means is just one itty bitty step at a time, recognizing when you're in that moment and then asking yourself a couple of simple questions. So let's get to these questions because I know you're waiting. You're done talking about the cost. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Michelle. So good to see you. Oh, goodness. Hi, Mom. Michelle and her mom are watching. Hi. I'm so glad you guys are joining me. All right. So these questions. Okay, if you're loving this so far, put a 1 in the comments if you're feeling mentally exhausted lately. And then I have another question for you. Type me in the comments if you're great at supporting everyone else, but when it comes to supporting yourself and doing the thing, taking the step, stepping out of the comfort zone. Put a me in the comments if you're good at supporting everyone else and not as good at supporting yourself. Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing a 1 in the comments there for sure. I've been, everybody has these moments where they feel mentally exhausted, and it's okay. So when you are feeling that way, here's something you can do. Ask yourself some very, very simple questions. Okay, when you know you need to do something, the first question you ask yourself is, why can't I just get this done? Just sit, pause, ask yourself the question, and then just be still for a moment. Drop your shoulders, exhale, close your eyes if you need to, or if you're in a place where you can't necessarily do that, just try to be silent with your thoughts, and it will actually bubble up to the surface. Here is another thing you can do. Recognize, I'm stuck right now. What am I actually afraid of in this moment? So if it's the hard conversation, what am I afraid of in this conversation? If it's asking for the raise, what is it that is stopping me in asking for the raise? What is the worst thing that they can say? Ask yourself the question, because when you do ask yourself these questions, it actually takes what may be perceived as a bigger problem and it starts kind of breaking it down or narrowing it down or chunking it down. And it's like, well, da da da, this is coming up and then this is coming up. And now you're actually able to name it. And when you're naming it, it's going back to that elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One little bite at a time. So if you can actually recognize, well, this came up and this came up, and often it comes up so quickly and easily when you're like, what am I afraid of? It will bubble up. It just does. This is how the human mind works. If we calm our nervous system down, even just for 10 seconds, things that our amygdala is keeping from us because we're in protection mode, we're wound up and we have anxiety, that will just like, and then what we need to know bubbles up to the surface. The other question is, this makes sense that I feel uncomfortable. It makes sense because I am afraid because. So when you're naming it, it suddenly doesn't become so scary. It's not the unknown. It's not the big bad monster, the boogeyman, or the fear. You're now naming it. It's like, I'm bigger than that. I can handle that. That's not mine to carry. That was a bad experience before. Maybe I need to let that go. My parents taught me that when I was a kid. I disagree with that now. I'm going to let that go. That doesn't serve me anymore. I want to let that go. Apologies, I keep tapping my microphone. I guess it's right in the way. So when we actually stop, drop our shoulders, exhale, give ourselves a moment to go, what am I actually afraid of in this moment? Or why am I self doubting in this moment? Why am I procrastinating doing this thing right now? Why am I feeling stuck? If we just quiet, even for 10 seconds, we're going to get something that comes to the surface and we can name it. And then we can ask, well, why is that so bad for me? Why is that so scary for me? And suddenly, it's really not that scary. So instead, you're going to choose to actually just take one small step. And in recognizing that, choosing that one small step, it's like, okay, now that I know what that is, I can move around it. Or today, I can't move through it, so I'm going to move over it. And I'm going to revisit that later when I have more time, or I'm going to, talk to someone about that. Instead of, I need to fix this big giant picture, I'm just going to tackle this one little thing at a time. Because if two or three things come up for you and you actually ask yourself, what am I so afraid of? If two or three things come up and suddenly you're starting to feel that, oh, I'm overwhelmed, there's so many things that are coming up, remember, it's just one at a time. Okay, well, if I'm nervous about how it's going to go, why don't I just jot down a couple of talking points so I can stay on track so that I don't get off track? I hope that's making sense for folks. Um, So just keep in mind, you don't have to fix the whole problem right away. One little thought at a time is how you actually tackle it. Just like one step at a time is how you climb a mountain. One bite at a time is how you eat an elephant. That's a terrible analogy. I probably shouldn't even be using that anymore. Oh my goodness. If this resonates with you, type a yes in the comments. I would love to hear if some of this is making any sense with you. All righty. Okay. So this week, I want to leave you with some good things to do. So this week, I want you to stop calling yourself lazy or stop, saying negative things to yourself if you feel like you're stuck and you can't do something. If you fall back into those old habits, um, having these little thoughts will help you from doing that. And so remind yourself, what am I afraid of right now? Why am I feeling stuck? Why am I not doing the thing that I know I need to do? And ask yourself, well, what is that? What could possibly go wrong with that? Why am I afraid of that? Yeah, I'm seeing some me's in the comments and some yeses. Thank you. So get curious. And it's real easy to get curious. The hardest part is just recognizing when you're in it. When you're in that moment and the shoulders up, the anxiety's coming up, the fear steps in, or the procrastination steps in, and you're disappointed in yourself. That's when you need to, like, whoa, wait a second. I'm aware. I'm aware of this now. Why am I feeling this right now? Get curious about it. Ask yourself about it. And now you say to yourself, okay, I'm in this moment. I know what I need to do. And there is an enormous mental sense of relief virtually immediately. I know what to do. I don't have to solve this problem right now. I just need to ask myself a question about this right now. And then it just starts to snowball naturally for you. So this is what I want you to take away with you this week is just get curious. Be aware when you're in those moments when you're feeling like that procrastination is coming up, or you're feeling that you feel scared to do something or afraid, or you're self-doubting, or you're telling yourself, no, I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that, or I'm not ready. It's not just perfect, or I'm worried what they're going to think, or worried what they're going to say. Catch yourself in those moments. That's going to be the hardest part. And then you can ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And then you can grab it and do it all week long. Make a habit of doing it. Give yourself a little reminder. If you can on your phone. I'm a sticky note girl. I don't know, but I have sticky notes all over the place. And if I want to remind myself of something, I pop them up everywhere. So you don't have to force yourself into a giant leap. Just ask yourself the one small question, stay present, and this is going to help you move out of anxiety, move out of not being able to make decisions, and help you move into more confidence and making those decisions or taking steps that um, are going to make you feel really good inside. Because one small step, believe it or not, that's going to give you a flush of hormones that make you feel good. And the body likes those. And so the brain is going to go, that wasn't so bad. And I kind of like how I feel now. And so maybe I'll do that again. And that's how it works, one baby step at a time. So I hope this conversation landed for you. Comment shift in the comments if this resonates with you, and I will actually send you my guide with 7 steps on how to have a mindset shift fast to feel calmer, stronger, and more in control in the moment. And these are things that you can do no matter where you are. You can do them when you're driving in your car. You can step out if you're having a conversation and you feel your anxiety or your fear or your lack of confidence popping up. These 7 mindset shifts you can do anywhere and in the moment to reset yourself, bring yourself back into the present moment, and think better and think clearer, and it will make you feel better. So I hope that this has all resonated with you. Oh, I see a shift in there. Yes, I'm going to send that to you. Thank you, Michelle. Um, I will fire that off to you, and take what you need from today and leave the rest. You don't have to solve everything all at once, little tiny steps all at one time. And every step, no matter how small, is a good step. It's a step in the right direction. So every step is a good step. Thank you for joining me today. I am grateful for you being here. Next week, we are going to be talking about the quiet, subliminal little ways we may not even know that, or how we're giving our power away. We want to keep our power. We want to keep our energy. We want to be able to help other people with that. And if we're drained, we can't do that. So next week, we're going to be covering how we're silently, unknowingly giving that away, how to recognize it, and then how to put a stop to it. So join me again next week. I'm going to again try to figure out this whole problem with my internet so that when it says I'm live, I'm really actually live. And I'm grateful for you joining me today. Thank you. I love you. Remember, these small steps will help you live a life you love. All right. Bye for now.